Welcome back to the We On One podcast. This is episode number 21, brought to you by Lux Beauty Salon.
For the entire month of October, when you mention the We On One podcast at booking, you can get 15% off of all hair color services.
Introduce our guest, Bells.
So this is Liz. She is the owner of Lux Beauty Salon in Haynesville.
Hi guys, that's me.
Oh, wrong one.
So Liz is the owner of the salon here, but she's also one of my closest friends. We actually grew up with each other. We've probably known each other since we've been born, I think.
I actually have a picture of your mom in like one of my aunt's 15s.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
You should see the hairstyle.
Yes.
Is it like the 90s one with like the little copete?
Yeah, like really big though.
Yeah,
really
the big old
huge
poof.
hair, curly
That's
hair.
like all of my sisters.
Like a can of hairspray they use.
Yeah, so my parents grew up with like her parents, her aunts, uncles. Like our family was just family friends. So we've known each other for as long as we've been born. It's crazy.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, we've been wanting to have Liz on the podcast for like a long time
We
now.
really
Since like the
have.
podcast started, like I remember me and Belinda were going through like a list of people like, oh, who would be like a good, interesting person to bring on, and you were one of them.
Well, that's exciting. I do have an exciting life.
Yes, and you know what? I love it because you're a woman and you're a business owner, and I feel like a lot of people don't know like
A Latina.
yeah,
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know like
Or
what
are
you
you
actually
Latinx?
struggle with.
I mean, Latina all the way, but you know.
You're respectful.
Yes, very respectful.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the things that I really, really like about you is that you're not a gatekeeper.
Definitely not. I'm always one that's going to be, I want everybody to succeed and I want everybody to know the knowledge and the background that it takes to get to where I'm at, because it definitely was not easy and it still ain't easy.
I hate gatekeepers. I hate
There's like
them.
a lot of gatekeeping in like a lot of industries, especially like in the podcasting industry. Like when I first started, nobody wanted to tell me shit.
Yep.
Like it was really like you had to like learn everything from like off of YouTube and shit like that. Like there was a couple people that would like help me like here and there, but like for the most part, it was definitely one of those things where people wanted me to like keep asking them. That way, they always felt like they needed to be a part of this.
100%.
I hate that shit.
I feel like for me, it's more like there's enough people in this world that it's going to, if you do something a little different to stand out or whatever the case is, your business is going to continue to grow. And for me, I mean, I have girls that walk in here all the time, and I always say this all the time. I'm not here to keep you here because at the end of the day, I know that your end goal is not going to be my shop.
Yeah.
So all I want to see is everybody succeed that I got in here.
For sure.
Right, because I feel like if I came to you today and I was like, hey, Liz, I'm interested in doing hair, Liz wouldn't be like, oh, okay, cool, that's cool, like, and just kind of, brush me off. She would be like, oh, start here or do this or do that. You're definitely not a gatekeeper. I love that about you.
Yeah, honestly, success. I want everybody to succeed, especially in our town. I mean, we grew up in a town where it's like there's a lot of poverty,
Yeah.
And even then, like even just seeing a lot of people we grew up with, a lot of single moms, that for me is like definitely touches my heart. And I think for me, I got 4 kids, and obviously like I opened this up by myself with no help with my children's dads, and so I just, like, when I have girls come in here all the time, and I always tell them, like I said, this is not their end goal. I know that for me to know that I succeed as a boss, as a mentor, is to see you grow more than what the salon is,
Right. How old were you when you decided you wanted to do hair?
Oh, man, I was young. My mom used to do hair.
You were in high school, right?
Younger than high school. You remember Libby Lou?
Yes.
Okay, so
I love Libby Lou.
I don't know who that
you
is.
You don't know what that is?
No, I don't know who that is.
He said, I don't know who that is. That's a place.
Okay, I see what kind of episode this is gonna be.
It's a place. It's like a little girl's dream, like where you would want to go.
You would go there and you would get your hair done. They would do like little like.
I used to go to the Echo store.
No, that is not that.
I mean, that's what I used to do.
Okay, this is a lot different. This is like if you would take Aria to this place and they would like doll her up in like a little princess gown. They put glitter in her hair and paint her nails.
So it was like a salon type of deal for like little kids.
Yeah,
little kids.
Yeah,
or little girls or whatever.
My favorite one was a singer. It was like a crop top with these super tight little leggings, and
like a little Britney Spears.
Yeah, because I literally thought I was Britney Spears before, and then they gave me like the little headset too.
You should be Britney Spears for Halloween.
Living out your dream.
I love Brittany.
But yeah, so when I was a kid, my mom would take me there, and like I would go home and I would practice those same like hairdos on my cousins because like that place was expensive.
It was so expensive.
We would only go if it was like our birthday or something. You wouldn't go there every other weekend. So I would practice those same hairstyles on my cousins, and then from there I knew that like updos and makeup was like my thing. I love to do that kind of stuff, weddings, quinces, and that's when I started that in high school. I would do that in the summertime in high school. And I remember being like 15 years old, going to these like wedding venues, coming out with like $500 in 2-3 hours, and I'm like, damn, I'm big baller now. Yeah,
in high school, $500 is a lot of fucking shit. $200 from like a little like 2-week $8 an hour job was a lot of money.
We thought we was balling. So.
Oh God!
I remember for Desi's 15 because we were in a 15 together. Like our hair was falling apart, and Liz was like, "It's okay, I got it.
Let's go to the bathroom.
I got
us." Yeah, no. So that's when it really started. But then like when I got out of high school, I realized that. It was seasonal. I was only really getting booked in the summertime, So it was kind of like, now what else can I do to have this all year round, And
so you were like hustling that shit during like quince season and shit.
Yeah, so that it was usually just like in the summertime. It would be like anywhere from like probably like May to like end of August, September, and then I would just be in school,
Yeah.
But so then that's when I decided to go to beauty school, and got pregnant with my first kid. And so then after that, I went to beauty school. We did that for about a year. But I did beauty school through high school, too. So that was, like, another cool thing.
That was, like, a program or something, right?
Yeah, so at the tech campus, they had that. I only did it for, like, a year, but...
I didn't even know that existed.
Did it, like, translate to, like,
knew
real
that.
cosmetology school?
So basically, like, you could do it your junior and your senior year. And then once you graduated your senior year, you were already licensed. All you had to do was take that state board. And the cool thing about it is the district paid for it. So, So instead of like for me, I ended up not finishing it through the high school. I graduated high school early, and then I went to beauty school again. I had to pay like $25,000 just to go to school.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean it's less than college, but
that's still a lot of money. That's just still a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I think like right before COVID, I was telling Belinda, I was like, man, I want to do something else, and I went to go like inquire about becoming a barber because like growing up and shit, I kind of do like the same shit like. One of my guys, Chewy, he used to cut my hair in my garage, and then like as he's cutting my hair, I would be like, "Hey, teach me how to do it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck it, I think I'm gonna just take this barber shit and see what happens with it." But then when I found out how much it was, I was like, "God damn!"
The thing is, though, it's fast money, though. So you think about it, it's like how much you make that money back. Yeah. It's definitely fast money. The only thing that I would say is that these barber schools, these cosmetology schools, they're expensive. That's my next business thing is I'm opening up a school.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
You know what? And then for David, too, because the programs were only during the day.
That's the other thing. A lot of them don't.
So I was like, damn. Like,
so he was like, well, I already have my full-time job during the day. I would have to quit that job to go to school.
Like, if I would have known, I would have been able to, like, 3 months later, we were going to go into a full-on quarantine.
I swear.
Like, I could have done it then. But then, luckily, like, literally, it was like that November, me and Bells were just kind of, like, talking about it. And we were like, okay, fuck it. Like, are you going to do the barber school? I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll do the barber school. And then barber school never happened. Quarantine happened, and then I was like, fuck it, I'll just do a podcast instead.
Okay, well, what I'm telling you is maybe don't give up that dream all the way because it's a good side hustle, too.
It's a good, what do they call those? They're not like, man, what the fuck is it called? Like, when you go to school, like a trade.
Yeah,
it's a good trade. It's a good trade.
You know what I think a lot of these high schools don't talk about these trade schools? Like, all different type of trades. You make money doing electricians, plumbers, HVACs. Like,
we're always going to need them.
Exactly.
Oh, God, you're always going to need them.
And that's what I'm saying with the barber. The barber thing is cool because, like, if you really wanted to, you do that on the weekends.
Yeah.
You do it at home.
I feel motivated. I think I'm going to go home and cut his hair. Just go home and grab a clipper, just cut his hair off.
He's practicing.
You know what? A lot of people throw shade at plumbers. They make hella money. Hella money.
One time we had like a whole bunch, like one of our standing showers was like, it was like the shit was coming back out of it. So I had to call a plumber on like a Saturday morning. This guy charged me like $900 to just remove the toilet and just like route it or whatever it is called, and then just fucking dip. He's maybe lasted like not even an hour.
And how many barbers do that too? When it's a Saturday, you know you got a party. You didn't book that appointment. Now you paying that.
You paying that premium.
Yup,
you paying
exactly.
that $60, $70. You paying that $60, $70 haircut.
And you know what the thing is though, is that people really do pay that, because I have that too. I don't work on weekends here no more, so it's like if y'all really want to get in, you can't get in with me. You could pay me an extra $70 to $100. You know,
and they'll do it.
And they'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same way. Like I've been in a situation where like I needed a haircut, and I had to be like, all right, bro, like I'll pay. Like I really need this fucking haircut. Like I'll pay 60 whatever it is
and
for a
David
haircut.
always waits last minute to book his haircuts too.
That's not true.
Not Axel though. No. I book Axel like
Who's
months
you?
ahead.
Who's you?
Well, I give him the dates and I'm like, hey, go ahead.
You don't do anything.
I'm gonna need you to make this. I'm gonna need you to book this.
You don't even do anything. I literally like Belinda's job is literally just to get Axel there.
Yeah, I literally just
that's actually a really hard job though.
I legit do everything. Like I'll pay for it. I'll tell him exactly what he needs to do, how much to get off the top.
Yeah, I don't do nothing. I just show up and I'm like, Chewy,
you know what to do,
right?
Yeah,
like he told you what he wanted.
Honestly, though, that's the thing, though, is like that's the one thing I don't do in this industry is guys' haircuts. Dudes are picky. Y'all thought girls were picky?
Yeah,
them boys don't play when it comes to their
I swear,
face.
because David, like, I'll see like the description that he's sending to the barber, and I'm like, what? Or like sometimes like his barber will be like, oh, like is this good? And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
it looks good.
So what I started doing was like I started booking my haircuts the same day as Axel. That way I could just be like, all right, this is what
it is. Yeah.
But Chewy's been cutting out my hair since before he went to barber school.
And that's the other thing too with these guys is they loyal to their barbers. Mm-hmm. They don't play when it comes to that.
I got two.
See, but back up right back.
I got two. And I don't say that. I love them equally.
No, okay. All right.
As long as you're honest, I don't care.
You know, me and you, we went to different high schools, so I don't know. Maybe your high school was just better about talking about like those programs, because I did not know they had those programs. I mean, I feel like the counselors at my high school were freaking shit. Like,
okay. Well, I did. Know. I mean, I went to Grace Lake North. They definitely did push like college for sure. Yeah. That was definitely pushed there.
Well, they had a better graduation rate than Round Lake did.
Yeah, 100%. So they're gonna push college, but trade schools, I definitely don't think. Like now, looking back, and I always ask myself, like, would I have done what I done, like with the business or in the industry in itself? And no, I actually wouldn't. I wouldn't even be doing here, to be honest.
And that in itself is a form of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's not even like that schools are like gatekeeping this shit, but they're also like kind of just like institutionalizing you to just become like...
I think a lot of it is nurses, business. Like they definitely push that, but it's like there's so many other things in this world that we don't even know.
Nursing. I feel like nursing they push nursing so much.
Yeah. But there's so many other trades.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's not for everybody, no.
I always
shout out to the nurses, though.
Yeah, shout out to the nurses.
Well, actually,
I'm too emotional for that.
I can do that shit.
Nah, and I think about that all the time. Like, if I could have, I probably would have went back for nursing.
I don't think so?
Yeah, but not nursing in the sense of I would be working at, like, a doctor's office or something. But I want to do more cosmetic nursing. And I never knew that was a thing.
And they make so much money, too.
You ain't never watched Grey's Anatomy?
But now.
You know, like, they had, like they literally would tell, like, there's, like, the guy who literally just does, like, nose jobs and shit like that. The plastic surgeon.
And they're actually one of the highest paid type of doctors.
Fuck yeah.
Especially now.
Yeah, especially. And, you know, like, it's crazy because back then nobody really ever talked about plastic surgery, lip injections, fillers, things like that.
People still don't talk about it.
If you got any of that done, people would look at you crazy.
But now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Now it's everywhere.
Because years ago, I feel like if you were to get a BBL, people would be talking mad shit about you. Like, what?
Yeah,
like, you did that?
But see, this is the thing. Is like, I feel like when people talk shit like that, it's because, like, they just can't.
They're jealous.
They're either because they're not confident enough to do it themselves. Because I ain't gonna lie, as soon as I hit about 45 and this hairline start receding,
he said, hair transplant.
I'm going straight to Turkey. They be doing it for like $5,000 over there. I'll do it. I don't care.
That's me with veneers. I'm like, sure, I want veneers.
I said the same shit.
Bad.
I'm gonna get veneers too.
Yep, that's my next thing I want.
Guys. If you're a doctor out there or a dentist that does like
sponsor us.
We'll
come
do
on
it.
The pod.
Right, come on the pod. I want veneers.
Yeah, and that's expensive too. That's why I'm like thinking like, man, I'm going to either Puerto Rico, Colombia, somewhere to get that.
Look, I'm gonna give this like working out shit one last time. If not, I'm about to go to just Mexico.
Hey, nah, for real.
I come back with a BBL.
Hey, but probably a good one because Mexico, they known for that over there too.
David always says that. He's always like, let's just go to Mexico. It's fine. We don't have to work out.
Like, why?
For everything.
Like, sometimes I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, Dallas is probably listening to this. Like, no, you're gonna work out. Absolutely not.
Like, sir.
Wait. I have a story about this one because I'm sorry, Dallas. He was my personal trainer for a little bit, and then I told him like, shoot, look, what I'm paying you, I could be paying this for this BBL, and tomorrow,
Hey, you stop coming. You stop going.
Right before, right?
That was right after I had Layla, and I had just had the twins too a year before that.
How many kids you got?
4. True, and like in the 3.
And the twins
Dog, I got
and Layla
2 kids,
are,
and I'm like, that's I'm good.
The twins and Layla are 1 year apart.
A year apart.
Right, 1 year apart.
So like they're triplets. Everybody always asks me if they're triplets because I mean Layla's
And they all look alike too.
They do. They really do.
I thought you had triplets. I told Belinda, I'm like, don't you got like triplets? She's like, no, she has twins, you fucking idiot. And I was like, okay, I'm one off.
It's dang near the same thing, okay?
Right.
But no, for real, like after I had her, I'm like, I struggled so much because I gained a lot of weight. My kids were all big kids. Like Noelle was dang near almost 9 pounds. The twins,
that's pretty big.
The twins were both 7 pounds, not preemies. I had them at 38 weeks. I probably could have went to 40 weeks because they wasn't even
and
ready.
that's crazy because usually people have twins at like 36, right?
Axel was like 6 pounds.
Yeah, he was small.
He was small. I never had.
Then he lost a pound. Then he lost a pound.
Yeah, I never had little babies. I always had big ones, and Layla was 7 pounds, so she was average. So after I had all them back to back, I hit up Dallas, and I'm like, fine, I'm gonna try this personal training shit. Did that for like a good month. I'm like, I'm not seeing no results, man. I'm getting this BBL. What I was paying him, I'm like, shoot, I'll get this BBL, I'll get it done right away, and that's what happened. A year later, I had that surgery, and I'm okay now. I still don't work out, I still don't eat good, but it worked.
But if you're willing to be committed, hit up Dallas. Because all this sounds like you just weren't committed.
No, I really am not. And the thing is,
I feel like it's really hard for moms, like, and especially right after you give birth, you're like, fuck.
It is. What do you mean? There's such thing as a dad bod? Yes. You guys ever heard of a dad bod?
Yeah, we have.
Like, so, okay.
But you wasn't carrying the weight from the kids. That's hard to lose that.
And then when you come home from the hospital and you're expecting yourself to be less bloated, and you're so bloated.
But whenever you're eating pregnant, I'm like, all right, I gotta eat too because if I
David
don't eat,
she's like, he was the worst.
I'm the worst, but I was I was hooking her up.
Hey, my baby daddy said the same thing. He did gain weight when I gained weight.
It is the same shit.
No, he would be like, you want to get this? And I'd be like, no, maybe we should make food. Well, we should get this.
He's like, you're pregnant. I know you're craving that.
Times were tough.
And it was worse too because we were both pregnant when the pandemic first happened.
We were pregnant at the same time a lot of times too. Yeah, we were.
So we were at home. Pandemic happened. We couldn't even go anywhere. So all I was doing was eating.
Yeah, me too.
That's probably why I think that's why I gained so much weight with that.
My thing too is I always ask you this too, and your mom. I don't know how you guys be cooking because I'm always on the go. So I'm like, hey, what y'all want, kids? We eating McDonald's, we eating Arby's. What do you guys want? Because I'm not cooking.
Yeah, it is hard.
We figured it out. Liz is the one keeping the lights on at Arby's. Don't nobody eat Arby's, dude.
What? They're curly fries.
I love Arby's, but don't nobody be eating that shit.
Hey, okay, I don't care as long as they got a fast line and them curly fries be hitting the beef and cheddars. That's what
I haven't had Arby's in a really
the line at the McDonald's down the street will literally be all the way
wrapped
up into
around.
fucking Meyer, and then Arby's is a ghost town.
I'd be looking at Noelle like, hey, you want Arby's? I don't know no 7-year-old that eat Arby's the way that kid eat Arby's.
He's so cute.
That's funny.
But for real, I it's hard. It's hard to be a busy woman with a business, and then I also do bottle service, and then I got the 4 kids, So I'm always on the go, and I talk about meal prepping all the time, but I really don't got time for all that.
No, meal prepping is super time consuming. I don't even
services
like
to do that for you. So if you're listening and you have a service, tap in.
Yeah.
I got you.
Try to sponsor our episode.
Yeah,
tap in.
honestly,
I got you.
I would pay for that to be honest, because I even tried what are those meals that you buy and they already come prepackaged or whatever.
Frozen meals?
No, the ones that you can subscribe to. They bring it to your door.
Oh, like a Blue Apron or whatever it is. Is that
what is it? HelloFresh.
Yeah, HelloFresh.
Blue Apron. What the fuck is a Blue Apron?
I want a sponsorship with HelloFresh because some of their meals look so good, but then I'm like, is it good?
See, my problem is those too healthy. I don't really eat vegetables like that, so that's what the problem is.
Sometimes I'm like, asparagus.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm okay on that. You got fries?
Sweet potato fries.
Nah.
Them shits be ass. Them shits be ass. I ate some one time. It was an accident. I was so fucking mad. I was like, why are these so rare over this shit?
Wait, but are you guys the type of parents that y'all make your kids eat that? Because my baby daddy will make my kids eat sweet potato fries, but me, I'm like, when y'all come home with mom, y'all know y'all ain't getting that.
Growing up, I didn't eat any of that shit growing up. So now I kind of I eat it now because it's I'm an adult and I kind of know that it's good for you, but Like if Arya
won't eat it,
but Axel's like a garbage
likes
can.
it.
He'll eat whatever.
See, my twins are like that too. They'll eat whatever it is. But when my oldest one, he picky. He don't eat nothing but.
That's Arya, and it's
nuggets.
funny because Arya and Noelle are actually the same age too. So that's so funny because they have a lot of
similarities.
A lot of things in common. But yeah, she won't eat anything. She
gags.
He was
like that too. Wait, y'all went to his first birthday. Y'all remember that with the cake? Yeah, the texture thing, like specific food. That kid will gag it out, spit it out. Yeah,
that's how she is too. She's super picky. But
they're like, dude, just eat the fucking broccoli. Isn't like we'll literally chop it up for her. Like, bro, you could literally just like dip it in the mashed potatoes and you won't even taste it.
Yeah,
but no.
See, but I won't eat it either, so I don't make him eat it. If I can eat it, he's eating it.
That's how my mom was. I would just call her, just eat a whole bunch of food and shit.
Yeah, no.
You were pregnant with Noelle when you went to cosmetology school?
I was. So I was actually like mid-program when I got pregnant with him.
How many hours is that? Do you remember?
It's 1,500 hours.
That's a lot.
Damn.
How long was that?
So when I was going, they didn't really offer part-time either. So it was right out of high school, and so I was going there 9 to 5. And then from 5 to like 9 or 10, I'd be working right at the mall right across the street.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I was pregnant. I was like 19, 20.
That's tough.
Fuck.
And then right out of cosmetology school, is that when you went to a salon?
So yeah, so I had actually got hired right before I finished school. And so I was with them for about 4 years. I was with that salon for 4 years.
That's when I actually started going to Liz.
Yeah, that salon.
Right when she got out of cosmetology school, she went to a salon, and then that's when I started going to her for my hair. So you've been doing my hair ever since you started, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So it's like 20, and now I'm about to be 27 next year.
Yeah. So when you went to the salon, you were there for 4 years, and then you actually ended up getting a suite of your own, right? What made you go from salon to a suite of your own?
So I actually had just had the twins. And see, with the salons, it's like it's a good starting just because like they come with their own clientele. I mean, you fuck up there, you're putting a name on them, not you, you know, because that's their salon, right? Yeah. So I was there for 4 years. I gained my clientele. I got the knowledge that I needed, and then when I got pregnant with the twins, I started to realize like a lot of those salons, they're commission based. So you're working 40 hours a week and you ain't really making nothing. Yeah. So in the beginning, like I said, it wasn't that big of a deal because I only had one kid. I was living at home. It didn't bother me, you know. I was there to build up because the first couple years, I mean, you're hustling. You'll be there all day, one client maybe. And the thing with that type of job is like you get paid per head. You don't get paid, you know, a minimum wage. Yeah, you don't get paid that. So it's like no client, you ain't getting paid. But you want to sit there and make sure like if a walk-in comes in, you're available to grab it. So the first couple years were definitely hard because like I said, I'd be working and you're not getting paid anything. After I had the twins, I realized now I got 3 kids. And I'm not living at home no more. So, like, this wasn't cutting it. So that's when I decided, like, there was other things, too, with, like, a lot of those salons are money hungry. And for me, I'm really big with, like, I'm passionate about what I do. It's not really about the money. I think that's how I built my clientele is because I'm not going to be the type that's going to take 4 other girls, you know, jumping back and forth between them all during one appointment time, you know?
Right.
So, that was basically when I decided that I'm going to open up my own little studio. I'm going to have my own little room, and I'm going to learn how to kind of run it without going and be committed to such a big place. So that's when the studio came about, and I did that for probably about a year.
Yeah. And I hated it, too, because I hated how, like, I'm paying money for you to do my hair, but it wasn't going all to you.
Me,
yeah, that part did suck. So then after... You're sweet. Because I like how you did that. I like how you went to school, did the salon, and then did a suite, and then you opened up
the suite was like a little transition to get the feel, like to dip myself into owning a business without putting all that money in because I was fresh to this. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. Booking my own clients I wasn't used to. My inventory I was never used to. And just kind of like, I guess, like, money management of where my money needs to go. How much money was I really spending on product? How much money was I getting towards myself? Things like that. So the first year was definitely trying to figure out more of the business side of it rather than doing the hair part of it. And it was cool because, like I said, I mean, it was a big old building with just, you got your own little private room. You still felt like you were within a salon, but you had your little private space and you ran things how you wanted.
I don't know if you remember this, but one time I was going to Liz. So I used to go to other people before Liz. And then I used to see some people in the suite in the same building as
This is
in the same building as Liz, and so then it was a little awkward because I'm like passing people's suites that I used to go to Liz,
and she like, straight called you out. She called you out. She was walking out. We can't say the name, but she was walking out the room, and all of a sudden she's like, Belinda,
yeah,
what are you doing in here?
I was like, oh hi.
You usually don't come here on a Thursday.
And you know what the crazy part about it is that all Belinda's family comes to me really too. So it was like your aunt would be walking out too, like, hey, you know she's in her suite right now? Can I walk out yet or not? And I'm like, let me run to the bathroom and go see if she's in her room real quick.
It's so funny.
And that's what we're talking about too.
Did the girl ever confront you about that? Like, why are you stealing clients and shit?
No, but she would confront me in front of the client, which is even worse. Like if you
did that shit?
Well, in front of Belinda. Yeah. She was like, she's like, hey, why are you here? Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm just getting my lashes done. And that girl didn't offer lashes.
Liz also did lashes.
I did lashes at a time too. Yeah. So, but the thing is for me is like, and I told Belinda this all the time because like I knew like there was periods of time too where Bella would go to like other people. Yeah. And I never would be like upset about it because at the end of the day, this is what I keep talking about. There's so many people out there for everybody. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for me, I never was like that. Oh, you went to her, now you're coming back to me. No, I don't care. At the end of the day, I knew a lot of my clients would come back to me anyways. I have a lot of clients that do that because either our time doesn't match up, maybe even price doesn't work out, and I understand that. My price ain't for everybody, or my time is not for everybody. You know.
That is something I really appreciate too because she never made me feel bad for taking a little break from her or like not being able to come when I was supposed to come, stuff like that.
That's why I got two barbers.
People are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so it goes back and forth.
I go through cycles.
It's true though.
Yeah, because a lot of people will be like, oh, you can't go to this person, you can't go to so-and-so, and it's like, why not?
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying is that, like, what's the point of hating? At the end of the day, it's like I said, there's a million people.
The work itself is going to speak for it.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't even matter.
Like,
and that's why I'm still here.
Yeah, like either way, like I think it's like that almost in the industry. Like there are people who would rather just go like, okay, like you're probably not as good as Liz, but I'm gonna go ahead and just pay you a little less. Yeah, like they're willing to sacrifice the quality for their situation or whatever.
But you know what the crazy part is that they always come back. They always come back. They'll go somewhere cheaper and be like, damn, like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, I get it. I get it. Money's tight, especially, when COVID hit. I lost a lot of clients.
Because that's actually exactly what I did. Because money was tight at one point, and I went to some random ass lady that I found, and then I was like, all right, the money's back. I'm going back to Liz now.
Yeah. So that's
I ain't never coming back to this. She gonna fuck me up. She gave you a fucked up lining.
Nah, but
yeah. So when you went, so from suite, and then you actually opened up a salon before this salon.
Yeah. So I've had two actual buildings or whatever. But so then after the suite, my dad obviously remodels houses for a living. So my dad was the one. The crazy part about it is my parents were never cool with me doing hair, but my mom did hair. My parents never wanted me to do hair. My dad was more like, you need to be in an industry where it's always wanted and it's always needed. Like, you need something that's going to have an income every week. They didn't really realize how much money was in the industry, right? So when I opened up my studio, that was like one day I went into work, I quit. Next day I had no plan. Yeah. So then I'm like calling my mom, like, I just quit at the shop. She's like, well, I hope you have another job. Like, what are you going to do? Because I wasn't living at home. I had bills to pay. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I just quit. So
yeah, but like I feel like that in itself was just like if you
were at that point, you were so unhappy.
Yeah, I was. And it's also like you kind of needed that. You kind of needed that like moment of like, oh shit, what am I going to do? Yeah. Because if not, then you probably would have settled and been comfortable
and stay there. Yeah, for sure. So then they weren't okay with it, and I told them I was like, I'm gonna open up a studio. So right when COVID hit. Yeah. So then my dad was like,
shit was hella shaky, huh?
My dad was like, are you really going to do that right now? Like, COVID just hit. Like, what? How are you going to know clients are going to come to you? So the cool thing about it was I'm in my own room, right? So I actually got a lot of clients because a lot of salons were closed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was sneaking people through the building like, hey, I got a little room in here.
David got snuck in, remember?
He got snuck in.
I did.
So my baby daddy obviously was a barber, and at the time, I was with him, so he was cutting hair out of that room too because his barbershop was closed. Yeah. So I was telling my dad, like my parents had never went to my studio, never. But when COVID hit, my dad wanted a haircut. So he's like, hey, hit up Joey and see if he can come give me a haircut at the studio. Because I hated cutting hair at home. I had the hair and everywhere, I didn't like that. So my dad went to the studio. It's the first time. I had that studio for a year. He ain't never went there, right? Yeah. So he goes in there, and he's like, how much you pay for this room? And I tell him at the time I was paying like $1,000 a month for that room. And
just for that room?
And the room was smaller than this.
I was about to say like $1,000 for that room. It was like a mirror and a sink. Correct. Or like a little whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a little sink connected to everything. Like the station was connected with the sink.
Right. Yeah. Because I remember that. Like I remember getting in there, and me and your baby daddy at the time, we were talking about it, and I was like, damn, she pays that much just for this? I was like, you might as well just go ahead and get your own like place.
Mm-hmm. So my dad never knew how much I was paying there, and so he comes in, he's like, you paying that for this? Like, this little room? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, nah, we're opening up a shop. And I'm like, it's COVID. You just told me like it's COVID. Like I gotta be good with my money, you know? Yeah. So I'm like, the thing is like, I don't have money to be opening up a shop, you know? And my dad actually, the first one that I owned, he used to have a cash for gold shop in that same building. So he knew the landlords really well. And he's like, all right, well, let me see what I could do. I'm going to work something. Like, if we remodel the whole thing, maybe he'll give us a deal. Yeah. The room, the place was it was small, but it was bigger than the studio that I had. Worked. Yeah. Yeah. So my parents then were like, all right, let me see how much money you're really bringing in. So, you know, I start giving them my bank statements. And my dad's like, damn, like, you really make this much money? You make more money than your mom. And I'm like, I told you, like, you can make money in this industry, but like it takes a while. You gotta hustle.
You gotta hustle it.
You gotta put your name out there,
and you gotta like build a really good reputation for yourself. 100%. You know, because it kind of translates also to like with barbering and shit like that. You gotta build a clientele. You gotta get a good word. It's a lot of word of mouth.
It's a word of mouth. I always say word of mouth is like the best type of advertisement you can have.
Yeah, because like you can go on your Instagram, you can look, and you can be like, okay, like I really like the way she did this person's hair or whatever, but when that person tells you how much she really liked the way you did it and how it made her feel.
And not even just that, too. It's like a lot of my clients I've had for years. So I know the ins and the outs of the relationship, what they go through in life, and vice versa with me. Like, sometimes when me and Bells are in here, like, we have to make sure ain't nobody else in here. Because
we're always like, man, who else is here?
We're like, oh, shoot.
Whenever she comes here, I'm just like, all right, so I'm about to be alone for, like, the next 4 hours with these fucking kids.
It's literally a therapy session, though.
Like, all right, cool. So
whenever I get my blonde, I'm like, oh, this is a perfect therapy session right here. But when
I
go 3 hours, I'm like, Liz, this wasn't
not long enough. We didn't have a long enough appointment. So that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of it comes with not just doing the hair, because I could tell you, I think some people don't even come to me because the way I do hair. It's more because I built that relationship with them.
They're comfortable with you.
And they're comfortable sitting in my chair is really what it is. But so back with my parents, at first, like I said, they didn't really want me to do it. But then once they started to see how much money I was really making and how I built this name for myself, you know, that's when my dad was like, all right, I got confidence in you. We're going to help you out, you know. So in the sense of, like, people always ask me, like, did this come out of your own money? Did your parents pay for this? Like, how did this happen? So my parents did front me the money. They helped me take out a loan.
Well, first of all, it's none of your fucking business. But if you really want to fucking know, like,
but no, I want to tell people what it really was because it's not easy. It really isn't easy. Is that?
And it's okay to ask for help.
Then that's what I've learned.
It's okay to ask for help.
I'm very stubborn. I don't like to ask for help. But I knew that if I took out this loan in my name by myself, my interest rate would be super high. I didn't have anything in my name. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I went to them like, hey, take the loan out in your name, but I'll pay for it. I'll pay everything, but I need you to take this out. And I always say, too, like, connections is always a big thing because I always had connections in the sense of, like, the floors, getting the floors done, the plumbing, the walls. My dad does that. Or he knows somebody to do that, you know? So it's like, for me.
And that helps out a lot.
A lot of the labor part, I didn't pay for. So I was very lucky in the sense of, like, I had a lot of connections in that sense. So
and people willing to help as well.
To help out, So that shop, you know, I had, like 3 stations in there and maybe a little room and a little nail tech spot. And in the beginning, it was only just me and one other girl. And the cool thing about it, though, is that because it was so private, I felt like that's how I gained more girls to come work for me. So, after that, after we opened up that's when I feel like COVID just kind of brushed over. And I will say COVID actually did help me out a lot in the industry because then PPPs came out and shit. I had a legit business though, so I could get
scamming the loan.
Yes, there were so many people taking those out and no businesses.
Hey, I was this close. I was this close.
I know people who scammed and they got their money and they had no business.
I know a lot of people that was doing those fucking loans and they were just like, hey, I was like,
do you know if any of them had to pay it back?
No, you know,
I don't know anybody either.
None of my people that had them, no, they even locked up. That's the crazy part is that I know a couple that took out.
Man, I swear.
Hell of
money.
I swear to God,
we were so close.
We're like, hey, like we can legit just fucking just take this money out and maybe actually get a business with it or not. But then I'm also thinking like, nah, I don't want to like risk it.
You know what the crazy part about it is I didn't even really get that much money out that PPP, and I wish that I know somebody that could finesse it a little more, because I could tell you.
I wish you would have.
Yeah, I really do, because I had a legit business to prove it though, you know. So like, I wish that I had somebody to help me kind of finesse it a little bit, because I'm all about finessing the government. But I don't really want to beat that out, but I really am. But yeah, so that PPP really did help me out. That actually was with the money that I used to open up this one. When I had that, yeah. So I saved that money, and then that's how I opened.
How long did you have that one?
A year, not even a year.
Not even a year?
8 months.
8 months.
It got bought out.
And then you.
It got bought out.
The property.
The property did. So, but I was on a lease for, I believe, 2 years. So it was kind of like, do I stick with that 2 years? Because when they bought it out, they knew they had to leave me in there.
They were going to honor it.
Yeah, it was either that they honored it or they would have to pay me out to leave. But so what happened was, I was kind of like going back and forth because I had a bunch of girls now trying to work for me, right? Yeah. That spot was too small. So I was telling my dad, I'm like, look, right now, because there's nobody really opening business, we could probably get a really good deal. Because I had my eye on this place for a while. This spot that we're in right now, it was a salon before I was even here. So layout-wise, it was already there. We didn't have to do plumbing, really. It was more cosmetic work that we had to do here, right?
The other one you did, right?
The other one I had to build from the bottom up. Yeah, that one was, like I said, my dad's Cash for Gold shop years back, and nobody had been in there for at least 2 years. So, yeah, so that's when I was, like, talking to my dad. I'm like, hey, like, we need to think fast on what we're going to do. Either we let this another year, or we go ahead and just open up another one. And at the time, I thought it was a good idea because, like I said, ain't nobody really opened up business. So we were able to kind of get them to lower down here because nobody was really here for years, you know. So that's when we started that one. And like I said, the PPP, COVID, that helped me out because I was also getting clients that were going to other places but knew because I was open and their salon wasn't open, they was coming to me. They would hit me up on Instagram like, hey, I heard you're open. Because I wouldn't advertise. I'm like, who told you? Who sent you? Because it was also really hard, too, because we couldn't really get color or anything like that because the stores that we were getting them from were closed, too. Yeah. So then I had to go online and place orders and big orders or whatever. And it was like a lot of times, like, if somebody texted me like, hey, I want red, I didn't have red on me, you know? So
and Liz is running the black market.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Were you scared
market?
Because you were pregnant?
I was scared. I was scared in the sense too because like
you can get shut down.
There was cops outside. I actually know a barber that happened to them twice.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, in Round Lake. Yeah, there's a barber and he was the one that was warning me like, hey, you better be careful because cops already have told me they gave me 2 tickets. First time was a warning. Second time was like, if we come into this building again, you are paying us a fine because we couldn't work. Right. The thing with mine The thing with mine was we had 2 doors, so I'm like, hey, come to the back. Come to the back.
Come to the back?
Yeah, come to the back. Because we had cops outside too. But I think the thing was like they couldn't prove what we were doing. They weren't allowed inside.
Yeah.
So they couldn't prove what we were doing unless they had a warrant to come inside. So I could have been making a podcast in here for all you know. I could have been making a YouTube video for all you know about hair.
You could have been just practicing.
I could have been practicing
mannequins, anything. Yeah,
exactly. They don't know that. So I was taking a lot of cash at that time. So
yes, I remember.
Yeah. So I was like cash only.
So was Joey, right? He was like cash
only because we didn't want to be reported.
I know. I told David I was like because I was like David, let me just cut your hair my damn self because his hair looked crazy, and he's like, nah, we gotta find a barber that's doing it on the low. And I was like, I got one. I
showed up with like a hoodie and a hat. I walked in. I was like, is this where I need to be?
He's like, yeah, come in.
I was like, I told Belinda, I texted Belinda, I was like, tell them I'm in the front. Open the door.
No, but really, that's really how it was. And like, the thing for us too is like, well, for me, because I know a lot of barbers, this is where it screwed them up, is because they ain't legit. A lot of these barbers are not working with license, right? And the thing is like,
allegedly.
Exactly. So the thing is that at that time, I could get unemployment. Normally, hairstylists can't get unemployment. So that was another thing, too, is on top of it, I was getting cash and I was getting that young unemployment.
No way, were you?
Scamming 101.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying is like I had the money to open up this was because I saved all of that. We were getting them stimmies. We was getting the PPPs. We got the
another one right now.
Me too. I'm definitely struggling now.
I need another one right now. Liz is like all that money is gone.
It's gone.
Liz is like, if the IRS is listening, all that money is now gone. We don't got it. You ain't finna get it either.
I ain't got it no more. So, but that's what I'm saying is that a lot of people were complaining about COVID hurting their business, but COVID helped me. It really did help me.
Well, you made it. You worked it.
That money.
You worked it because that's another thing too. Like, I know during COVID, one of the things that I was thinking is like, damn, like, you know, there's really nothing that anyone can do right now. So it's like, when you feel stuck, it's just kind of like you stay in that mindset, but you kind of were like, fuck it, I'm gonna just use this shit to my advantage, and if we figure it out, we figure it out.
Exactly. So
were you scared to get sick? Because you were taking people?
No, and I never wore a mask. I ain't never wear a mask. I ain't never wore a mask.
And she was pregnant.
Hey, I'm gonna leave a counter on the fucking video of how many times she just self-incriminated herself.
I should have been locked up by now.
They locked your ass up.
I swear, I used to be like, damn, Liz, you ain't scared? Like, you don't got no mask? Because I used to walk in with a mask, and she'd be like, you don't got to wear it. It's fine.
Nah, yeah. And a lot of the times, too, though, is because it was literally me and one other person. But I was obviously having, like, 3 people at a time in a day, and obviously, I could have gotten sick. But... Yeah. No, actually,
she said,
but I didn't.
But I didn't even get COVID until I opened up this one, so I was good the first 2 years.
Yeah. Dang,
I was good.
That's nice.
I
know we got it that first year.
I got it that first year. I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, it was bad. I did get it pretty bad too the first time.
I was like, this is it.
I had COVID already twice. So.
I was like, I survived everything. This is it. This bitch ass little virus gonna take me out.
And I couldn't breathe.
I was like,
that thing was bad.
I swear. So how was your experience leasing this building?
Honestly, super stressful. Like, because that's the thing is, like, depending on what area you're in, and obviously I'm in Haynesville. What's in Haynesville? There ain't nothing in this town. Yeah. But it was really hard because...
It's a pretty small town.
It is a really pretty small town, but they're strict. They strict about what comes in this town. So I did have to have like a business plan. I did have to go through I have an attorney, and my attorney had to look over my lease agreement that I had.
How'd you find it?
Did you have to like present it to them as well?
I did have to present it. It was COVID during the time, so I didn't have to go in, but I had to have like a PowerPoint and like, you know, tell them how much I thought they would gain from having me here. Yeah. How much revenue I thought that we would have for here. Yeah, and like the layout that I wanted, how it was going to look. They had to come in here and see. I actually thought I was going to fail inspection because I got this jungle back here. But they were really strict. They were really strict about the way that we had things in here. And so it definitely was hard. There was a lot of times
I didn't know you would have to do all that, like a whole PowerPoint.
I think we failed inspection actually the first time.
No way.
Yeah, we failed inspection the first time. And the crazy part about it is we already had a plan that we were going to open at a specific time, because a lot of times when you open up a shop or you open up anything, a lot of times you can make an agreement with the landlord like, hey, if I got to rebuild out this layout and I got to redo the whole thing, give me rent free for the times that I got to build it. And then once we open, that's when rent's going to start coming in, right? Yeah. So it was definitely scary because I remember we had like a timeline. We were supposed to open up June 1st, I think it was. And it was like we had inspection the day before.
Damn. So it could have just gone the wrong way, and then
exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, we failed the first time, then we had inspection again the day before we were supposed to open, and so it definitely does get scary. There's a lot of things that you have to go about, like just like little things like the wiring, the way
like fire hazards and shit like that.
Yeah,
like, you know,
and every department or every area is going to be super strict about, or they have their own rules about how they want things.
What were you allowed to do? So you're allowed to paint, right? You're allowed to put like wallpaper.
Anything unless it's like plumbing or electrician work, you got to pull out a permit.
Yeah. Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a house.
It's definitely like a house.
It's like having a house.
Yeah. So it was definitely a struggle in the beginning. There's a lot of arguing. I had a lot of arguing with my parents. A lot of stress. A lot of stress definitely in the beginning, but.
I love that. I love that your parents helped you and like they believed in you and they supported like your dream.
I mean, even still now, my mom. It's funny too because my dad's more like, just do it. If we fail, we fail. You're not.
At least you tried.
At least you tried. Yeah. Is what he says a lot of the time.
I'm the same way. Like whenever you know, like whenever I'm thinking about doing, I said fuck it. Like I remember I told Belinda I want to start a podcast. What do you have to lose?
David's always like, fuck it, let's just try
fuck it. Who
and
cares? Like Belinda was like, do you, like what if nobody listens to you? What if this? What if that? I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like fuck it.
At least
and then
I
felt the same way too, because like I was like. After I convinced myself, I knew I had to like convince her. Yeah. To be like, look, like this.
Let me pitch you my idea here. Yeah.
He needed his own PowerPoint.
Yeah. But it took me like a little bit to figure. Well, yeah, because like, you know, we're married, we got a whole bunch of shit going on, and obviously like.
And why you think it's worth to start it?
This is like a monkey wrench. Yeah. Like, you know, just figuring out like how to do this shit, because I didn't know how to do any of this shit. Yeah. I didn't know how to.
And
do
the time management too. Like,
I didn't know how to do any of it either. I never took a business class.
Me either.
I never had nothing with that.
And I'm the same way like you. Like I've had like podcasts that like are from Round Lake and shit like that hit me up and be like, hey, what do you use? What is this and what is that? And I could have easily have been like, yo, fam, like I'm not telling you shit. Yeah. But I was like, look, I told them this is the mic I use. This is what I paid for it. This is what I got now, and this is how I do it. This is how I record. And I use this program, that program, and then you know, I'd rather have the good karma.
You know what? And for me, I think for me, it's more of like a satisfaction of them coming to me later and be like, Liz, I am where I am because of you.
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, that was like that I definitely agree when it comes to that. It's just like, I'll share my secrets. Whatever you want to know, I'm telling.
Yeah. She's an open book.
Yeah, I'm an open book.
What's
As you
the
can see, he's
hardest?
Scamming 101.
Scamming 101. That's going to be the next podcast.
Scamming 101. How the fuck do you scam the PPP loans?
What do you think is the hardest part about owning your business?
I think
She's stressed. She got a few.
yeah.
She's like, wait, do you,
You
want
know
my?
what?
She's like, do you want the examples or do you want what I'm going through right now?
Shit, because I'm going through it right now. Honestly, I think the hardest part about it is that nobody's going to take care of your business the way you want to take care of it. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to love it the way you love it. I mean, my everything is in this. Everything that I have is in this. And I built this by myself for my kids is really what it is, you know? So when I come in here and the place ain't clean, they ain't doing what I'm telling them to do. It's like, for me, it hurts me because I have this for you guys. You know, it is for me at the same time, but like, I have this for you guys to make money, to take care of your kids or your house or
Like
whatever.
giving them
you have.
opportunities and
Exactly
coming here
what
and
it
learning.
is. Exactly.
Like that's the way I would see it. Because it's like you said, like a lot of like I've seen this a lot, like with barbers and stuff like that. Because one of my really best friends, he's a barber, and I see it all the time. And like I'll see barbers go there, and they'll be there for like a year or two, and then all of a sudden they're opening up a shop. And I'd ask him like, "Yo, you don't feel like any type of way about that?" And he's like, "No, because that's it's like that's the part of the game."
Yeah,
he's like, he told me like, if you wanted to be a barber here, I'm not going to expect you to work for me forever.
And that's what I'm saying.
He's
I
like,
know
if you
that's
do,
not going to be it.
Yeah, he's like, if you do,
I appreciate
cool,
it.
great,
Loyal.
I love you.
You're
But
loyal.
if you don't, even better, because now that's like you're building a tree. Like
100%.
everybody comes from like the Liz tree.
Exactly.
And then as long as
venture
they're doing.
off.
As long as they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, it'll just make you look better. It'll just more quality to the lineage.
100%. And that's, I think, the biggest struggle, though, is that for me is, I mean, you know, my loyalty is like, I have such a thing where it's like,
damn
I
loyal.
get way too many chances.
I swear you do. Because I'm always telling David, like, Liz is too damn nice sometimes.
Can I
don't
guess your
have
sign?
What am I?
You're giving off two vibes.
What?
You're either a Scorpio or a Taurus.
I'm definitely a Scorpio.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Hey, shout out to my astrology niggas.
Yeah.
Hey, I get clowned about that shit all the time. And I'm like, hey.
Oh my God, he's so strong about it too.
Right, that shit's real though.
He's like, let me read you really quick.
I was like, look, that's some.
No,
I'm like,
I swear
when Belle
she's-
gets to acting like a Taurus, I just leave.
Yeah, I gotta go. I can't deal with this.
I'm not doing
I
this
know,
shit.
because I feel like me and you, we go back and forth a lot where Liz is telling me, no, you're too nice. Like, you gave this person way too many chances. But I'm also telling her, like, you got to cut them off because this is it. Like, you're too damn nice.
Yeah, I am really nice though, and the thing is, like I said, like I'm
You
all
have a
about loyalty.
huge
Like
heart.
I wouldn't care. Like, and I've had it happen to myself like a couple of times where I've had run into situations where I've trained a girl, I've got them, helped them get their clientele, you know, from the bottom up. They really came from nothing, you know, and showed them everything that I know. Help them out, tell them that like it ain't easy to run a business, but I'm here to help. And the thing is too is like my parents are always here to help too. Like in the situation that I was in with one girl that I had here, and it's the fact that they lie. Like, why lie? Just tell me like, hey, I want to open up my own. You've inspired me to do better, and now I feel like I've learned so much from you that I'm okay to go off on their own, and I have more respect for that than to do it behind my back and
Then
be
do
like,
some like snake shit.
Exactly.
And, like,
Yes, you think that's the
Exactly.
hardest part about managing a team?
yes.
Is that some people have lied, or
Yes.
you don't know if they're lying, if they're being snakes.
Yeah. And the hardest part about it is like they're in my shop talking about it or things like that. And so it definitely is tricky because it's like I said, it's loyalty is what I have. And to be loyal to me and just tell me like, hey, I have other dreams and I support that. And I would be like, hey, I would love to come to your ribbon cutting. Like,
So is that something that like learning from that experience, like moving forward, whenever you do bring girls in, is that something that you plan on telling them up front? Like, hey, like, you know, just so you know, I know that you're here and you're here to learn and you're here to like advance your career. But if you ever feel like, hey, you're ready to take that next step,
you know what the
like
crazy
my door
part
is open,
is a lot of salons will make you sign contracts that you can't
like non-competition.
Exactly,
or
but I'm not like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, they'll say you can't go down the street and open up a shop. You can't
Right.
go 25 miles from my shop.
Did you have to sign one when you were at that first salon?
Yes, I did have to sign one. I couldn't take my clients.
Yeah.
Somehow I still ended up with you.
No, but the thing is like in the sense of I can't text them and be like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I could post on social media and be like, hey, this is where I'm at. You want to, if y'all want to come, that's not you. That's not me saying, hey,
but you personally can't go to them and be like, hey, I'm over here now. You need to come here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So I could be like that here, where I could be like, hey, y'all can't take your clients that you get from here, or y'all can't go down the street and open up a shop. But what am I saying is that I'm not like that. My thing is like, I want to see everybody win, but I also want that loyalty. Like when you do come here and you come, like I said, not everybody that I have here is going to stay. There's so many other things in this world that they could possibly go do. And like I said, I'm here to support that, but to be open about it.
Yeah.
Don't lie about that.
Just be honest.
Because I'm going to find out anyways.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. And we're gonna
this town is so small.
And we're gonna talk about it.
And we're gonna talk about it
at our next appointment.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like I said, I'm just here for everybody to grow. I'm not here to hold nobody back. And and like I said, I'm an open book. I got the knowledge. I've been through it. I've struggled through it. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
And I'm here to help.
How do you balance the kids and the business and you bottle service at night?
I manage now the bottle servicing too, so I'm definitely at the bar all the
how does
time,
that
too.
look? Like you're kind of all over the place. Well, you already said you don't cook.
I clean. That's about it.
Arby's is just looking at you like, oh yeah. They're like
my number one customer.
They're rubbing their hands like Birdman, just like
They're like, Liz is here.
Liz is money. It's Popeyes, Arby's.
She's like, hey, she gonna bring all them kids.
Yeah, all of them. Every single one of them.
You gonna pull up with all them kids.
No, but it definitely is hard. It's definitely hard. During the week, I'm usually at the shop. It's usually like 9 to 5 because the kids go to daycare. And the thing is like, shout out to my baby daddy because I got a good relationship with my baby daddy. He definitely does help me out a lot in the sense of he got the kids. We got 50-50. So he does have the kids 50% of the time and I have 50% of the time. So I kind of manage my time when they're with their dad. I know that's the time I could work my ass off. I'm working 9 to 9s. Then I'm going to the bar, working there. And then when I have them, I dedicate my time with them. So I'm only working 2-3 days out of the week. I'm working 9 to 5. I go pick them up. I'm with them on the weekends.
Right. And then it's also like almost like a break for you as well.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the bottle servicing does come in because I really don't have to bottle service. But the reason why I do the bottle servicing is, one, it does help me out with, I want to open up a school. I don't want to have loans. There ain't no PPPs no more. So I really got to work now.
We can't scam
scam no more. So,
scam no more.
So now I'm working. And now I work at night. And it doesn't take away from my time with the kids because the kids go to bed at 8:30, you know. So it's like I don't go usually to the bar till like 10. Come home, they're still asleep, you know?
And someone just stays with the kids.
Exactly. So I have my nanny that stays with the kids. And so that's kind of how I balance it. Now it's just a little crazy because my crazy time for the shop is about to hit. It's holiday season coming. And then I am working at the bar. And I do have my oldest all the time, 24/7. So...
Yeah, I know, because we were talking about it, because I was telling David, like, man, I really don't know how Liz is doing it, because she's got the kids, she's got the salon, she's got the bottle servicing. Because, like, with the podcast, like, we have this podcast, but then David has his sports podcast. So, like, days we're recording this one, then he's recording the sports one on the other one, and then I have, like, some things that I'm, like, trying to put together, you know, on top of, like, our regular day jobs. So we're like, man, I'm so freaking
It's the hustle
tired.
and the drive, though. It's definitely the hustle and the drive. Like, I can't sit still.
I see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, like, the way I see it is, like, look.
You're going to work hard right now.
Yeah, it'll pay off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the same way that you are. Like, I want to build something for my kids.
Yeah.
And for my kids.
Exactly,
For, like,
down the
like,
line.
I may not, like, right now, I may not, like, have enough to, like, leave them. But I think that when it's all said and done, I think, like, maybe 10 great grandkids from now, they're going to look back and be like, oh, your great-grandfather was, like, one of the greatest podcasters of all time.
Yeah.
And I think right now, like, we kind of struggle with, like, our family's kind of like a podcast. So you guys are doing a podcast. Like, how you guys going to live off of that? Or, like, things like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same way with the hair. You just got to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You start from the
And we
bottom
have
and you
been.
work your way
And
up.
I have been. She's have been, you know, because, like, we started.
At first, I was kind of like, David, I don't know.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, Belinda really, like she said, fuck it. Like, she's going to put in what I put in. So if I put in 100%, she'll put in 100%. And it
If
helps
I
out when
see
it
him,
when
like,
it's
That's
two
couple
people.
goals right there.
And when
I
it's
need to
two
find my
people.
one like that. Because, shoot.
Because once I started seeing, like, all right, man, he's, like, super passionate about this, I was like, all right, I'll help you. Like, all right, let's do this. Like, all right, I'm going to stop laughing. Like, all right.
Belinda bought me my first microphones.
Oh,
Belinda bought me
Yeah.
the headphones that you're wearing and shit like that. So
Like,
it's like,
he really wanted to do it.
I was
and
like, nah,
he
I
was
wanna
just
do it.
kind of like, all this stuff is really expensive. Like, to start off, it's so expensive, all the equipment. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy it for him, and let's see if he actually puts in the effort, you know. And I had bought it all, and I had just given it to him, and I was like, all right, we're going to see, like, if he puts in the effort or what he's going to do with it. And then I started to see, like, all right, he's passionate, he's doing it, all right, we're going to do it then.
Yeah. And to me, it's never a thing of, like, you know, I'm worried about, like, oh, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to do this? Because I still have to work my job,
I worry about that all the time.
But I do know that, like, if I'm not going to sit here and if whatever I put into this is what I'm going to get back. So.
Yeah. No, I worry about that all the time, and I'm not going to say that. Like, people think because I own a business, I got money. I definitely don't got money. I'll tell you that right now. I don't got money.
Because if you think about it.
Or else we wouldn't be scamming.
Exactly. Exactly. No, not true, though.
Because I feel like they don't even take into consideration all the stuff you have to buy. Like, do they think like all this furniture was free? Like
exactly.
You had to buy every single piece of furniture.
And then people ask me that all the time, like, why you bottle service for if you own a business? Like, you think that I'm profiting off of it? No, the first 5 years, a lot of businesses fail because you're negative. You ain't making that money back.
You're gonna be in the red for a while.
Exactly.
It's like that with any business, though.
Exactly.
Like you said, any business you're gonna be in, unless you like jump out the gate and you're fucking. You know, you're like a celebrity hairstylist.
Yeah.
For a long time, you're going to be in that red, and you're going to slowly dig yourself out of that hole.
That's exactly what it is. And you have to have that motivation to know that, like, hey, if I lose everything, I'm going to be sleeping in my car. Are you still going to keep that business? I'm going to do anything I can to keep the business going.
Yeah.
So that means I got a bottle service or whatever, get a part-time job. And like I said, the bottle servicing just works because it's at night and I don't got to be away from my kids, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, the mentality is always like, oh, she got money because she got a shop. I'm like, no, I really don't got money. Like,
right, because it's so expensive.
Everything is expensive right now, especially right now that everything went up in price, you know? Color, everything.
I know.
So, yeah, I know. I'm looking at it like, fuck, like, everything is expensive.
Yeah.
I feel like I just paid rent and now I got to pay it again.
Yeah.
Oh, like, God.
when the prices actually went up and you had a post like, hey, like, prices and like the materials and the color and stuff like that went up, so my prices have to go up. Do you feel like a lot of people?
It's hard. I definitely feel like like I said, I got a big heart. So
it's
a lot
hard,
of times, like, you know, they'll be at the checkout and honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have my assistant go up there a lot of the times because I'm a sucker, dude. Like, they'll be sitting in my chair telling me like how they're struggling, how, you know, things at home are not going good, and then they're ready to come pay, and I'm like, man, damn, let me just give them $50 off. Like, I know they're struggling at home, and that's the thing is like, but then I think about it, I'm like, damn, I got my own kids to feed,
right?
I got my house to pay, I got this business to pay off, and it's like, and I still want to open up another one. So it's like a lot of the times it's like I gotta tell myself like, this ain't my hobby. This is what I do to feed my children. So.
Yeah, that's really, really hard, actually. Do you feel like you lost some people?
I did.
When you had to increase prices?
But you have to tell yourself, like, you have to reel out the ones that are not going to stick with you, and it's fine, and it's okay, and you are going to have the people that are going to pay the price, you know?
And maybe they'll come back, You know what's crazy is, okay, so you said, like, your family helps out a lot with the kids, right?
Oh, yeah, it takes a village to raise them kids.
I swear. You know what? Shout out to my sister-in-law because she's the one that's babysitting the kids for us so we could do this episode. Yeah. Shout out to Rosa. Thank you so much for watching our kids.
Let's see if I can get this one right.
Oh.
There you go. Okay.
I don't know why I did that.
Don't you think it's crazy how, okay, we moved out and we're moms and we're adults, right? We're supposed to be able to do whatever we want to do. But don't you think it's crazy how we still have to ask our parents for us to go out because they're the ones that got to watch our kids?
Let me tell you something. My mom has me on her location, right? So she can see where I'm at all the time. The other day I had taken her off. And she's still texting me every week. Hey, can you add me back on your location? No, I'm not adding you back because you're going to ask me why I'm somewhere without asking. Like, no.
Yeah, my mom has me too. And I have hers too. But I have hers because I want to know where she's at.
Yeah, I'm calling her like, hey, where you at?
My dad, he sent me his for like a week. And then he took me off. I was like, Dad, you forgot to put me back on your location. He's like, no, I didn't. I was like, sir, where are you going?
Then you can't tell me.
Yes, he was like, I don't want you to know where I'm at all the time.
Nah, my parents are definitely crazy when it comes to that. I still got to ask for permission. My mom don't play when it comes to that.
And then, like, our parents, they're the same. Like, they're still always out. Like, they're always wilding out.
Yeah. But we can't. We got to be home and be moms.
Yes. Because my mom and dad would be like, sorry, we can't because we got a party. Or, sorry, we're going to be on the boat.
Hey, my mom really don't watch my kids like that, though. She'll watch my oldest. She'll watch my oldest because he can watch himself, basically, now, right? But my mom has never had my younger three at her house to spend the night or nothing.
Never, ever?
My mom said, you had them kids young, you take care of them. I ain't watching them kids.
Your mom
She's like, wait till they get a little older.
She said 6 and older, then they can spend the night. If they ain't 6 and older, they can't.
Yes, my mom would be super quick. She'll be like, Arya can come over. Yeah. Tell her to sleep over.
Listen,
I'm like,
I feel that.
Go ahead.
I feel that though, because I be looking at Axel like, bro, you holding us back.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to get your shit together, bro, because you holding us back.
That's my
swear.
twins. My twins are the same exact way.
Me and David, we're always talking about it. Like, man, we should have took all these vacations back when Arya was like our only kid, because my mom is so quick to take Arya.
Yeah.
But like with Axel, she's like, because Axel, he's a co-sleeper.
Yeah, she told me
Yeah,
about him.
Axel loves sleeping with people. He goes to sleep in his room, but a majority of the time he wants to sleep with someone.
Yeah.
Or like at my mom's house, because the kids have their own room at my mom's house. So that's why I'm always like, heck yeah, I go to grandma's house. But Axel will always walk to my mom's room in the middle of the night, and like he jumps on her bed and he sleeps with her. But he like sleeps on top of like my parents, so like he's a crazy sleeper.
Yeah.
So she's always like, Axel too.
Yeah, but I don't blame them at the end of the day too, though, because our parents are younger. So,
Yes.
and then they had to deal with us too when we were, when they were kids. So it's like I do like understand where she's coming from. Yeah,
because they were like, heck yeah, I'm done with kids. Like I'm living my best life now, and that's how me and you are. We're like, dude, that's gonna be us. We're gonna be our parents because we're gonna be wilding out.
We're gonna be calling Arya and Noel, hey, come get us. We drunk somewhere.
I swear, Arya and Noel are definitely gonna pick us up somewhere.
Our Ubers.
I'm just gonna drop off all my kids at your house or your kids at my house.
Exactly.
And we're gonna be like, all right, bye.
Y'all can party together. We out. We gone.
We're gone for the weekend. Yeah, but
Me not drinking.
Nah, then you the Uber.
Yeah. Like me not drinking, like I probably still have to stay home too.
You know what? With my parents, you were like this too, actually. Because we're like the oldest ones. I feel like our parents like expected so much from us, and they still expect a lot. Like, I don't like to ask my parents ever for help.
I could be on my last dollar and I will not text my parents.
Yes, me either.
I have too much pride when it comes to that.
Yeah, like me and David will never ask my parents, because
we've talked about that. We've talked about this before, like when you guys first like had Arya and y'all had to live in like Waukegan and how it was a struggle, but y'all didn't want to ask for help.
No,
and
we
that was
never
asked the same.
We
exact
never
way.
Looking back, we probably should just ask for help.
We should have been like,
I should too.
I was like, yeah, I should just ask for help.
The first house that me and Noel had lived in was this little small. It looked like a little trailer, little red house in Fox Lake. I paid $600 a month. And it was his room was the size of a closet. I ain't even playing with you.
It's the same shit for us.
Yeah,
the size of a closet.
In Waukegan, it was like a duplex, and then it was like an upstairs
David
and
was
downstairs.
like, house is considered a bedroom.
That's how. I swear to God, that's how
it was like a
living
closet.
too.
It was damn near like a closet. It was like half the size like of like here.
Yeah.
And we were $650 a month.
And that was literally me and him. And you know what the crazy part about it is? I passed by that house and he'll always be like, Mom, when I become rich, I'm gonna buy us that house, because that was our first house.
Yeah.
You know, so
Because that's like his house.
that was his house.
That was his
first
house.
house without grandma and grandpa. It was just me and him.
Yeah, I know. That's how Arya has like such a good memory too, because she'll be like, you remember the townhome we used to live in before the house? Like, she till this day will say like, I'd rather us live in the townhome.
Yeah, like
That's
we'll pass by it like on the way to her parents' house, and she'll be like, remember when we used to live there?
Yeah.
You know what it is though? It ain't even about the house. It was the memories that they had in the house. You know
Because
what
like
I
that's
mean?
how you start figuring out like, oh shit, like she's like really connected to that house. Like to her, like to us, we were just sitting there just like, damn, I can't wait to buy a house and get the fuck out of here. And you know, you start thinking about all the times you struggled and shit. And then she's looking at it, you know, because no matter what struggle that we went through, like our kids never felt it.
Nope.
Yep.
They don't feel it. And it was one of those things where it's like, to them, they'll never see that shit. And I didn't start realizing that until I started having kids. Like, damn, like looking back at it, that my parents were struggling, but I didn't know that because they never
showed it to us.
They never showed it to us.
Yeah.
Whenever we actually did need help, we would go to David's parents, actually.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like feel bad asking them. Like, I knew that if we needed help, like they wouldn't make us feel a certain way. And I feel like with my parents, like I was just kind of like more embarrassed.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Even now, I'm not, like I said, I'm struggling now at the shop. It's not going the way I
Our
want it
parents
to
will go
go.
listen to this and come back and be like, yo, y'all embarrassed. That's weird.
Probably we're both gonna get text messages.
Yeah.
Her
They're gonna be like, what do you mean?
But his mom's gonna be like, you weren't embarrassed when you were drinking in 8th grade.
You know what?
I swear, my mom's gonna be like, "Oh, that's what you're embarrassed about.
That's what you're
not
embarrassed
all the
about?
shit you put me
Yeah, but
through."
you know what? It's because they hold a high standard for us, is what it is,
Yeah.
and we don't want to fail them. Is really what it is.
Because they were young parents, and then
Yeah.
we were young parents too, so they
Exactly.
were kind of like, "Damn."
And they're like, "I told you so." Like, who told you to go get pregnant at 19 years old?
And you know what? Me and David were married, and my parents
Still
still
were
gave
like
us
that.
shit. They
Yeah.
were like, "What do you mean you're pregnant?" Because I was 19. You were 19?
I was 19 too.
Yeah. I was 19 and they were like, what do you mean you're pregnant? Like, what are you guys going to do? And I'm like, what do you mean what we're going to do? Like, we're married.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, they were still giving a shit about it.
But that's like the one thing that I I love about your guys' relationship is that y'all have stuck through it all, because it ain't easy.
Yeah.
It definitely is not easy.
It isn't. I know, that's why we were like, those courthouse marriages, they be lasting, man.
Honestly, though, because it's the struggled ones. Those are the ones that y'all go through it all together and still make it through, though.
You know what's crazy? So, speaking of that Waukegan house, so it was recent. It was like a couple weeks ago. Our friend who used to live like down the block, we actually grew up with him. I don't know if you know him. I'll tell you his name later. But
okay.
He used to live down the block from that house in Waukegan that we used to rent out of, and he added both of us on Instagram. We haven't seen him in years, literally since when we lived there. And dude, it was so freaking funny because when he added us, I was like, oh damn, like his last memory of me, dude, I was hanging on his car because
you gonna talk about this?
Because me and David were fighting.
Yeah.
And David was like, my friend lives down the street, because at the time we only had one car, so we were sharing the one car. And so I took the keys and I had the keys on me, and I was like, you ain't going nowhere. And I'm like yelling at him, and he's like, I'm gonna call my friend then. And then he calls his friend shows up super quick, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, and David jumps in the car with him. David jumps in the car with him, and he's like, go, like, don't listen to her. And I'm literally like, I grabbed that passenger car door and I'm hanging on it because his window was down, and David's like, roll up the window.
You're like, my man ain't going nowhere.
I was like, you ain't going nowhere. And I'm like screaming at him, and I'm screaming his name, telling him like, stop the car, like, what are you doing, dude?
Oh,
and
he literally looked at Balloon and he's like, hey, I don't like people in my business, so I'm gonna mind my own. I'm like, nigga, you stay right there.
He's like, David's like yelling at him, like, go. And like back then, like, so this house, it had, like, the parking for it was next to a restaurant, so it's like the parking lot of the restaurant. So
it's
like
a big ass scene.
Was it daylight or what was it?
And I was like, it was like 6.
Yeah.
Okay, 6
in like December. In like December.
Okay,
in like
so-
December.
No, but there was people at the restaurant. There's people outside. Everybody's staring at us, and his friends like looking at me. And he's like, "Man, this ain't nothing personal, Belinda. Like, my friend just called me and told me to show up." And I'm like, "No, you need to unlock this door." And I'm literally holding onto his passenger car door, and he's dragging me with the car.
Oh hell no!
And I'm
City
like,
boys are up too.
and I'm like, damn, like, I can't believe, like, I was like, man, I'm embarrassed now, because now I'm like, I'm a different person. Like
that ain't me.
I'm like, that ain't me. Like, yeah, I'm still finna take the keys from David. Like, he ain't going nowhere still, but I'm not gonna hang off someone's car door anymore. Like, I was like, man, I can't believe this is my last.
We came far.
That's his last memory.
Because I don't even be arguing with her no more.
I think you pick and choose your battles now.
Not even. I don't pick none.
He said, I'm just
none.
He's like,
she always right.
Battle no. Battle 0. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
And I feel like that pisses me off.
She gets so
that makes
fucking
me mad even more,
that
though.
makes me mad.
I'm like, hey, why are you not trying to argue? I'm trying to argue today.
Fucking argue with you. I'm like, what are you gonna do?
Even through text, like, he'll send me something and I'll be like, okay, like, or sometimes K, period, and he'll be like, okay, I love you, and I'm like,
I said K period, okay? You know
K
what that
period means we're fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like yesterday, she was like, okay, and I was like, bet.
Yeah,
that would have set me off.
I was like, bet it up.
And I was out, and I was like, I don't care, like, okay,
whatever.
She's like, I'm not gonna. Oh man, I was so tired. I'm trying to rule your time out.
He was.
I was trying to rule her time out.
He was trying to rule my time. He's like,
and then what did I do? 20 minutes later, I was like, hey, I'm about to go get the kids dinner. Do you want something?
I'm dead.
Because I didn't reply after his bet.
Yeah.
And he was just like, later on, he was like, you want something to eat?
City boys be up.
The food is gonna win you over. Yeah,
It always does.
And me, I'll be low key like, yeah, I'm hungry, but hey, no, I'm mad. Not mad. So now I don't want nothing. You come home with nothing, and I'm hella pissed.
You know what?
I don't care if I said no.
I came home. I didn't want food because I was eating wherever I was. And then I came home, and then afterwards, he's like, you want some Cold Stone? I was like, no, I don't. Because I was so mad. Because I'm like, how you finna send me back? Like, no, I don't want Cold Stone. And then, like, I went in the shower, I come out, and he's like, got you some Cold Stone?
Yeah, and if he didn't, I would have been even more mad. Yep.
I swear. Tell us a toxic story.
All right, you know what? It's crazy because I haven't been with my baby daddy now for a little over a year. And like I said, like he's a good guy. He's a great dad, but like relationship wise, it just wasn't where I think we wanted it to be. And I always tell him I think a lot of it had to do with we didn't really know each other when we had our kids the way we had them. It happened, and we tried to make it work. Yeah, they were not planned. We had just met. So it was like 6 months in, and we got pregnant with the twins.
No way, was it really?
6 months in, and we got pregnant with twins. So we definitely did try to make it work, but I think that we lived 2 different lives. We wanted 2 different things in the world, and like I said, we tried it. And he's a great dad, and like I said, I could never speak down about him because he helps me out a lot. Mm-hmm. But it didn't work. So now, in this last year and a half, I've tried to date. But it is really hard to date because I used to always say, like, I'm not going to date somebody that got kids. And how can I say that? Because I have 4. Mm-hmm. Like, how could I be like, I ain't dating nobody with kids, right? So
people don't know what a daycare. How dare
football
you?
team.
You're like 4'11". You're like, I don't want to date a short guy. It's like,
I don't.
Like, how dare you?
6 foot and up. I'm not playing 6 foot and up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
But everybody's like 6 foot and up to me, right?
I was about to say, you're like 4'11", dude.
Yeah.
But Linda's like the shortest person I know, and then like you stand next to her, I'm like, oh, they're you guys are a community.
No, for real. But so after I like separated with him, I did get into a relationship with somebody, and you know, he told me he had a kid or whatever, and that him and his baby mama were separated. So whatever, I gave it a try, right?
Always a story. They're always separate.
How would you know? You've been married for like the past 8, 9 years.
She lives through me.
Yes, I literally do. Like, she be telling me her stories, and I'm like,
red flag.
Like my friends be telling me like they crazy baby mama stories. I'm like, nigga, how do you live through that?
See,
like,
me, I ain't no crazy. See, that's the thing, and I always say that too. My baby daddy both of them will tell you, like, I am not no crazy baby mama. I don't care what you do.
They about to be in the comments right now.
Like, hey, she lying. Let me show you the text messages.
Yo, both of them are gonna be like, yo, she's a fucking liar.
Nah. They will say I am a good baby mom. I don't care what you do. I don't ask for child support. I don't ask for help. As long as you're in my kid's life, I don't care what you do. Mm-hmm. These baby mamas out here be wilding when it comes to their baby daddies. But I'm not like that because I didn't have my dad growing up for a while. So for me, I think my biggest thing was that my mom was always the same way too, is that she didn't care if my dad was gonna give her money or if my dad was gonna help her out, but as long as he saw us, that's all she cared about. So I'm the same way with my kids. But with going back to how this toxic relationship was that he had a baby mama. To my understanding, he was not with his baby mama, right? Mm-hmm. So this one time, you know, it was actually, I think it was Blackout Wednesday. I wasn't gonna go out because I had the kids, but I had put the kids to sleep and I didn't work the next day. So I texted my nanny and I'm like, hey, like if she could come, then I'm gonna go out, whatever. But I ended up going to the casino, not to my local bars that I usually would go to. So I go to the casino. My cousin was at a bar locally. And she's like, come get me. I'm drunk. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm going to show up. Dude told me that I was talking to that he wasn't going to go because he was going to be in Wisconsin because Thanksgiving was going to be the next day, right? Yeah. He was going to take him and his kid to Wisconsin and go see his family. So, all right, bet. Just text me when you get there so I know you got there safe, whatever. Doesn't text me. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to text him. So, whatever. I show up to this bar to get my cousin, and this bar has like 2 floors. So, I walk up the stairs, and why is he standing right there? I'm like, I thought he was in Wisconsin. I look at him, and I'm like, so his family actually owns that bar. So, I'm like, I'm not going to make a scene here because his family owns this bar, you know? So, I go back outside, I go smoke me a little wood real quick, and come back upstairs to get my cousin. He's up there with another shorty. So I'm like, okay, you told me you was going to Wisconsin, but you got a whole other girl up here. Well, he ran out the back way thinking I was going to be on some toxic shit. And he runs out the back way. I'm looking for his car because now I am going to be on some toxic shit. Like, what is you doing telling me you're going to be in Wisconsin, but you got another girl here, right? Mm-hmm. So I knew where his after little parties were going to be at. So I pull up to the after parties. His little friends weren't going to let me in. And I'm like, I told one of my girls that they don't know that we're friends. I'm like, go up there and tell me who he's with. Because I'm thinking the whole time it's his baby mama. I don't know what she looks like. I don't know who she is. So the whole time I'm thinking it's the baby mama, right? So I text the baby mama because I had her on Facebook. I knew who she was. I already had creeped on the Facebook and saw who she was. Texted the baby mama screenshots of our conversation and showing her, like, we've had this relationship for going on for months now, right? He told me y'all ain't together. Why the baby mama call me crying, talking about where he at?
Because that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
That wasn't her. Whole time baby mama's crazy. She crazier than me. Whole time baby mama's crying me. Like, he lives at my house still. We still together.
Liz ratted herself out.
I'm like, damn, my bad.
Yo, you set yourself up.
Dude, the baby mama was at home chilling.
I'm like, damn, my bad, sis. I'm like,
minding her business. She at home watching Love and Hip Hop. You just ruined her night. Yeah, she over here just watching a rerun.
I'm like, damn, sis, I was about to smash his windows, and I thought it was you the whole time in the car.
You just see her like halfway with a bat. She's like,
Wait, are you?
This ain't you?
I'm like, who this then? So then she's like, I'm gonna pull up. I'm like, oh no. So now I'm like, I'm leaving. Like, let her hand. That's her man.
You gotta pull up.
That's
That's her baby daddy, not mine. Now, I don't got no strings attached to this man. So I'm like, that's her baby daddy. Well, he calls me, blowing up my phone that night, talking about Shorty went over, his baby mama went over there, busting freaking all the stuff in that house. Mind you, this ain't even his crib. This is his friend's crib. Busting everything in that house, lighting his clothes on fire. Baby mama ain't playing. So I'm like, well, she took care of it for me. Like, I don't, I didn't have to do anything.
You got your leg back.
Yeah, I did, and I didn't have to do anything. And the whole time she tried to fight the other girl, and I'm like, damn, he was playing all three of us, all three of us at the same time. So now my biggest thing is like in the last year and a half, the dudes that I have been talking to, it sucks because a lot of them do have girlfriends or baby mama drama. I'm like, I can't find one dude, decent dude that don't either have a baby mama that's crazy or a girlfriend that they're still messing with, and it's like.
Yeah. And because you know what? I've seen Liz's DMs and...
Yo, chill out.
And you know what? Some of the people in it...
Hey, chill the fuck out.
like,
Chill the fuck
I
out.
be texting David and I'm like,
David, is this your friend, David?
David, why is your friend in my friend's DMs?
And I
I'm
got the proof because a lot of the times I don't be replying. That's the crazy part about it.
And she'll show me. She'll be like, you know, look at these DMs, and I'm like scrolling, and these dudes just be commenting after commenting, liking, swiping, and like she doesn't respond at all because you know that they have baby mamas or they're with someone. Yeah. And Liz isn't like that. Liz is like, no, I already know you with somebody. I'm not going to reply. Yeah. And so then I'm like, David.
What do you want me to do?
Your friend and my friend.
Like, what do you want me to do?
And like this will be like, oh my god, look at this dude.
Look at this dude. I'm be like, hey, ask David, he's still with the baby mama or what? Because they're hitting me up.
And I'm like, oh my god, yes he is. Like I know for a fact he is because we was just talking to them last week or something like that.
And then I get blocked. Then I get blocked like a week later, and I'm like, what did I do? Like I didn't even reply back to the message.
And for my niggas, I'm gonna lie under oath. Hey, don't even trip. For my niggas, I'm gonna lie under oath.
I'm always like, man, like the one dude.
She looks at me like, are you telling me the truth? I was just like, it's somebody's truth.
Like, you know what? I was like the one dude who was like, let me bring you breakfast. And then like I was like,
all right, cut it out. Don't cut. No, we're not doing that. You're gonna do my guy like that. You're not gonna do my guy like that.
And I told Liz, I was like, man, he living with his baby mama. Like I know this for fact.
But that's what I'm saying though. And a lot of times they take me as I'm being a bitch or I'm trying to be hot shit because I'm not replying. But it's not that. I'm not replying because you got a whole shorty at home. Like I've had my home broken. Like my first baby daddy, that was my first true love. Like for real, I say this to this day. Like I would have been with him, but he had his struggle he was going through and things like that. And that home got broken because of something similar that happened to me. So for me, it's like I never. So
you don't want to do that to someone else.
I don't want to be that person. I don't.
Yeah. You know what? We actually had a question. Again, David's friend. One.
Hey.
This guy. Okay, so he asked. Okay. Wants to know if you still love him.
He ain't 6 foot.
He might be where it counts.
Oh my god.
Hey, listen.
I said my requirements changed now.
Oh my god. You know what?
Hey, you ain't finna do him like that. No, you're not finna do him like that. You're not finna do him like that. He is a good man.
You know what?
He's a good man.
I've actually told you before, like, I like him, and I feel like if you guys were to
You know what it is, though? He does have a lot on his plate, and I feel like a lot of dudes...
But you do, too.
But you know what, though? A lot of dudes feel like they can't juggle one thing at once.
If you're a real listener of this podcast, you'll figure out who it is. If you're a real listener of this podcast and you truly fuck with me, you'll know who this is. This is how I find out if you niggas just be lying.
You know what? We're gonna talk to him and we're gonna try to get both of you guys on an episode. I feel like that would be so damn funny.
No, he'd be laughing.
We actually tried.
We're still cool though.
We tried recently to
get you guys both together.
Try to get on the same day.
I wasn't gonna tell him, and I wasn't gonna tell you. We're just gonna show up. Yeah, we're just gonna show up. See what happens.
And the crazy part is like even though we ended the way we ended a little toxic too, but. The way that we ended, we're still cool. Like, we still could talk. We still could stay out, things like that. Like, I think we'll always be cool because we grew up together, too. Beach school days. So, he's listening. He knows.
You'll know. If you're a real listener, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, nah. So, I mean, he's like I said, he still probably will always be in my life because, I mean, we all grew up together. Yeah, he's still super cool. But my requirements have changed.
Oh, my God.
So, if you guys want to have
I fucking dare you.
If you want to have, like, a speed dating podcast, I'll be on it.
Yes.
You know what?
Be on one matchmakers pod.
I'll do this. If I get enough guys to sign up If I need about 10 people
But you need
DM
my
me.
requirements though.
But we need a man for her. Okay?
A man.
What does that mean?
Not a little boy.
So what does that mean?
Do you want my requirements?
Sure, go ahead. I feel like you've written them down. I got a lot of.
Hey,
I got black friends. I
like them black.
I got black friends.
Black, 6 foot.
I sound like that guy that's like, yeah, I'm not racist. I got black friends. I really do. And all these niggas would hit me up too. All of them about to hit me up like, yo, she like black dudes?
I love the black dudes.
Wait a minute.
I can never go back.
Wait a minute, because Bow Wow was in your DMs.
Bow Wow what? Hey.
Shad.
Hey.
That nigga's like 5'2". Don't sit there and tell me that that nigga's like 5'2".
Hey, why are you not the only one that talks shit to me about that one? Everybody always talks shit to me about that one.
Nah, bro, I used to want to be Lil Bow Wow.
Dude, when we saw that, me and David,
that is my childhood crush.
That was when we first
my
started.
childhood crush too.
I don't blame you. It's the light skinned in him.
We first the podcast had barely started when that had happened, and right away, me and David were like, "Tell him to come on the pod."
We got the proof. We got the receipts right here.
I'm gonna blur that out.
Bow Wow, are you listening?
Now
come on the pod.
Shad Moss.
You know what though? That was my childhood dream, was to see him. Like one day I knew I wanted to see him. So I went all out. I got the VIP tickets. I'm gonna go backstage.
All right, so we all really want to know. I'm gonna ask the question that everybody really wants to know.
What?
Did you guys?
No, and I wish we did, and they probably would have came close. You know why we did?
Did he send you off or what?
What happened?
No, I sent him off.
Yeah.
You fumbled the bag?
Nah, I really did.
You fumbled the bag.
It was Halloween weekend though, and who I was with didn't want to go to the strip club that he was going to. So what happened was, like I said, I got VIP tickets to go in the bag. You know, it was him and Omarion. They were yeah, was it? Yeah, it was Omarion. Was it?
No, my nigga. Oh,
it was Omarion. It was him.
My heart used to be an icebox.
It was. So I go backstage or whatever. I had my nails decked out. I had Bow Wow on my nails. I had my shirt, everything, right? I go over there and he's like, "Hey, Bow, you like the Latinas like this, huh? This is the one you gotta wipe up."
Who said that?
Omarion said
Omarion did not say that.
I swear to God.
Omarion did not say that.
And I'm shaking. I'm like this. I'm like, who? Me? You talking to me? And I'm shaking, right? And then he's like, "Yeah, you know how I like them or whatever."
Was this like the Millennium Tour?
Yes.
Was B2K there?
They were not there.
Oh.
No.
This was the one before that.
This was the one before that one.
Oh, when it was just them?
It was a bunch of them though. It was like Pretty Ricky was there. It was just a bunch of old singers. It was a good show though. They put on a good show. But yeah, so then he's like telling him that. So me being me, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna have my girl take a video of me at the concert and showing off like my nails and my shirt, right? I'm like, cause he's gonna go look at like who's tagging him right now, right? Yeah. So then he goes and he puts it on his. Okay. So now I'm like,
I saw that in real time.
So now I'm like, he accepted my message.
We saw that in real time.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys was watching. But
we were tuned in.
Okay.
we were watching her stories.
I'm sitting here just like this is about to be the worst episode of Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta.
So then I'm like, okay, now he accepted my message. So now if I message him, like I know he gonna reply because like you got to get accepted in order to be in their messages, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, trying to play it all cute, like, oh, thanks for the share, baby. And then I'm like, and then he's like, you want to come to the back? He's like, we're partying and vibing. But honestly, I had went there to go see his show. Like I went to go see him.
Like you didn't go there with like, oh, I'm about to see if I can get backstage.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. I really wanted to see him. That was my childhood crush. It was my childhood little dream to see him, right? So basically, I was like, all right, let me see if I could really get back there. So I was like, all right, bet. Like, how do I get back? He's like, send me pictures of your ticket. So I sent him pictures, and then he's like, I was like, at the end, it was like the concert was already gonna be over. So I'm like I said, I wanted to see him. I didn't want to go backstage at that point. So he's like, come to Oceans. Y'all know that's a strip club. So I was like, but it was how
I don't know, but yeah.
You never heard of Oceans?
No.
They have like a whole pool and stuff in this one. It's not in Chicago, but it's like a suburb of Chicago or something like that. But so a lot of celebrities usually will go over there, and so he had asked me. He told me to go to Oceans, but it was Halloween weekend, and I already had plans to like do other stuff with other people. So the person that I was with, my cousin, she kind of killed this one for me, but she was like, I didn't want to go to Oceans. Like we were in costumes and stuff, so like she didn't want. She's like, I don't have like strip club clothes to go there. I'm like, it's Halloween. I'm sure people will be like in strip,
like dressed up or whatever. Yeah.
So we did not end up going. I still was messaging him though afterwards. I got a picture with him, and I still was messaging afterwards, and
I'm looking at the timestamp because I gotta blur that. I'm probably gonna have to blur that.
Why?
I didn't know this was gonna turn into that. I didn't come here ready to fucking have Shad Moss.
I'm blessed.
Yeah,
We want him on the pod.
on his jet.
You know what? The next time you come to Chicago, come on the pod with Liz.
Yeah. Now he actually a really cool dude though, for real.
Nah, he seems like he's a good dude.
You know how like sometimes celebrities be.
I'm clowning just because like like the internet and shit like that. But in real life, he's a fucking legend, dude.
No,
and I would love to have him on.
He really is. He really is. And I can't ever say nothing bad about him because he was. I know you want to be on your Switch, but you broke the charger. But yeah, no. So he was a good guy, and he was definitely nice. He was a gentleman. But I did fumble the bag. I did not go to Oceans, and I did not do anything with him.
I know. I was like messaging y'all, and I was like, Liz, you better go. You better go.
Everybody was. I was with my girl too there, and I didn't want to leave her by herself. You know how sometimes they'd be like, "Oh, only you could come."
Yeah,
in.
they don't want to be that friend.
I was not that friend. I stayed with her. I stayed with her. I didn't go.
Yeah.
But if we went to Oceans, like he said, like who I was with could go with.
Yeah.
But backstage, like it's limited. Not everybody could be backstage. So I also didn't want to leave her, and she was the one pushing me, like, "Nah, bitch, you better go. Like you better go,
She's
shoot
like,
your shot.
okay.
I don't want to be here to help you. You know."
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And I've had a couple encounters with celebrities. We had a couple in Miami too, but that might have to be for another pod. Cause
the fuck it is. You better.
that one, I don't know if you can really keep that one. Miami's a whole different story. What happens in Miami stays in Miami.
Ooh, period.
That's actually Vegas.
Nah, Miami too. Miami, I feel like it's worse.
Well, you've never been to Miami. What are you talking about?
I've been to Miami through Liz.
Yeah, she definitely has. She knows the little celebrity encounters in Miami.
I swear, I be through everything with Liz. She be telling me, and I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah. It's definitely crazy. I go to Miami now at least once a year
to see a certain person.
Not person. It's just like you know what the thing is like now when I go to Miami and somebody tells me like, oh, what's your Instagram, or I'm gonna give you my Instagram. I'm like, there's always a verified little check next to their Instagram. You meet hella people in Miami that are verified. Yeah. So yeah, actually, I did
verify me.
Actually, no, I went to Club 11 and I met somebody there. He was a football player. I ain't gonna say what football player.
What team?
I can't say that either.
Nah, say what team.
I can't say that.
Say what team.
I can't say that either.
Yeah, you can.
I can't disclose.
Let me guess it. I'm really big. I have a fucking sports podcast. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not disclosing nothing.
I'm pretty sure you figure out who it is.
Liz goes on that podcast.
Who's being that dirty deacon?
But we got kicked out of that bar or that club, that strip club. We got kicked out. We was getting money thrown at us, and the strippers weren't.
Ooh.
And we was collecting our money. And we got escorted out by like 10 security guards, and we ain't allowed back at 11. And the crazy part is I showed up at 11 probably like at 3 in the morning, and I got escorted out like 10 a.m.
Damn, you still open? It's still open till 10 a.m.?
That's like a 24-hour strip club.
Dang.
I walked out, and there was people jogging for their daily jog in the morning, and they're getting their coffee, and I'm like, damn, what day is it today?
You under the fucking vortex?
I was so confused.
She under the fucking vortex. She came out like, what the fuck?
I'm like, what day is it today? But yeah, now we got escorted out that club.
Now you gotta tell me who it is off the record, but... I gotta know.
I gotta harass you for that name.
I am now invested in your Miami life.
In Miami life, yeah. Once a year, we try to go there at least once a year. It's crazy though. I can only go there for like 3 days. After 3 days, it's too much.
That's too much. Yeah,
really? It's too much party. I'm telling you, I didn't go to bed that day. It was the full 24 hours. We were up that day.
That's crazy.
It's not even living.
All right, she's gonna have to come back on the pod and tell more stories.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I live a crazy life. I always talk about like maybe one day I'll do like some type of YouTube channel or podcast of the interesting life that I live. But it's like, when am I gonna find time? Is really what it is. Mm-hmm. So I'll just jump on this one.
Yes, you're gonna have to come back on ours.
We already got like a matchmakers one. I need you guys to do that one for me.
Submit your applications.
Yeah.
We're gonna push for that double date.
Hey, wait, have y'all seen the TikTok episodes of like people doing that though? Like they'll make y'all should do that.
Shit.
We should do that. Yeah, they'll do it like on Tinder or whatever, or like they'll make like a Google Docs of like questionnaires to see if like they're a good match. And then we should do it. And then I'll go on these dates.
All right,
and
we're gonna test it first. We're gonna test it first with our friend that asked the question.
He probably don't want to wear a mask. He probably gonna be like, nah, don't put me out there like
he no longer wants to ever come back on this podcast.
Yeah.
You don't fuck that up for me. You don't fuck up that relationship for me.
We would love a double date.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you. We got some good ideas for the next pods, though.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
It was a fun time.
And thank you for hosting us.
Anytime.
Oh, yes. We love the salon. We were like, yeah, let's do the pod at the salon.
Yeah, so you can see a little preview.
That was my idea, by the way. That was my idea.
It was my idea.
I like that. It was a good idea.
I'm all about the aesthetics.
Well, before we end, don't forget, if you use our code WEON1 at booking, you will get 15% off of all hair color services for the entire month of October. And if you're actually interested, Liz actually has some open spots, like open booth spots. She's looking for a hairstylist, 2 nail techs, and 1 lash artist.
Yeah, correct. And we're booth rent, and I just let the girls run their own little thing. I just come and go. That's pretty much what it is. I'm here to stock everything, pretty much. But y'all are your own boss. I'm the landlord. That's what I always say. I'm not here to be a boss. I'm here to be a landlord. So if y'all are interested, hit me up on Instagram. But yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I'll leave all of Liz's plugs on the bottom. Also, don't forget, if you use code WEON1 at checkout for Hygieia Cold Press, you'll save on your order. Anything over $100. Is that promo still going? Over $100?
It's not.
All right, I take that back. I gotta talk to JJ. JJ, we gotta figure some shit out.
JJ, see, that's one of my old boys too.
JJ, we gotta figure it out. See how all this shit just comes full circle?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I've known him since like the 6th grade.
I love that man, bro.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
And I love that we're all coming back to like all together. Like we
all
grew up from a
supporting
small
each
town,
other.
you know, Round Lake Pride we got over here.
Hey, we gonna figure it out because motherfuckers gonna be proud to be from here.
Nah, for real though.
Motherfuckers
You know
gonna be
what?
proud
And that's
to
the
be
thing
from
that I
here.
love to see is like see like all the people that we grew up with as kids, you know, and see us all adventuring off doing our own thing, and it does make you proud.
All it takes is one person to do it.
It does,
and that's all it is.
Yeah.
It just takes one person for them to see like, okay, he did it. I want to do it now.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for.
No, and it does make me proud to see us a lot, and a lot of us got kids and we got families, and we still out here doing it.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're never told to chase a dream.
Yep.
So we'll catch you guys on the next one.